Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. Another rapid fire Q&A. This is very interesting. Again, it was posted on Instagram. Clockwise720 asks, when printing stems or instrumental, how do you maintain the processing on the mix bus, such a compression when the whole mix was hitting it all together, so each stem or print version still have the same processing effects and gain reduction, etc. So that when you bring the stems in and you pull the faders at unity at 0, they sound like the mix. Well, this is unfortunately a problem for many because of how much 2-bus processing we do nowadays. And it's not as easy as it sounds. It is always a compromise, because let's say you have the full mix and you print an instrumental, so there's no vocals. So in this case, it's fairly easy, because all you need to do is basically create an aux with your mix and trigger your 2-bus processing, especially the compression, with that mix without sending it to the output. So in that case, you have your compression, at least your compression, hitting the mix at the same level and having the same gain reduction and the same behavior, but now you are applying it to the instrumental version. The question is, will that sound okay? In my experience, it doesn't, especially if you have a mix where the vocals are high in level. That's gonna sound weird. The action of the compression without the vocals on the instrumental is gonna sound weird. Now, if you do this because you're actually planning on putting the vocals back in at some point and you need to do something special with that, that might work. But in my experience, I've done this and it never sounds right. So what I rather do is to actually adjust the 2-bus processing to work well with the instrumental without the vocal in. As for stems, that is a bit tricky. Again, it's even trickier because unfortunately there's no way other than what I just described, basically feed your compressor with trigger signals. Okay, so I don't know, the full mix, but again, it doesn't work, because if you print your drum and you trigger your drum stem with the full mix, again, it's gonna sound weird. It's not gonna sound right. Same for the bass stem or something like that. And it's even worse if you have EQ on the 2-bus, because let's say you have a simple Pultec shelf EQ, top and bottom. That is on the whole mix. So if you print 6, 7, or even 4 stems, you're gonna add 4 times that EQ. So let's say you have 2 dB on the top end, 2 dB on the bottom end, and that works for the entire mix. If you start adding those 4 dB total to the drum, to the bass, to the vocals, to the synths, to the guitars, or whatever other stem you have, that's gonna add up, and your mix is gonna sound like this. You know, it's gonna be way too much high end and way too much low end. So that is a big no. Don't add your 2-bus processing to each stem. What you do, it depends on what you have to do with the stems. If you need stems, is either because you need them for a remix or a different version of the song. So in my experience, is just either you don't use your 2-bus processing at all on the stems, and then you make a list of what you used and you give it to either the mastering engineer, for example, if you're going for a stem mastering. You tell him what you used. In that case, if you use plugins, he will have the same plugins. If you use hardware, it will either hopefully have the same hardware or something equivalent, or that he can swap for. But again, if you're going for a mastering engineer, he will do his processing, so he will not necessarily want to use the same things. Otherwise, you just print your mix and give it to him. You don't need to give him stems. So yeah, there's not really a way to do that, like so accurately, that when you pull all the stems together and you have a 2-bus processing going on in your mix, it will null. It will never null. And same goes for saturation. Saturation even more, because not only saturation is program dependent, but it's level dependent. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit your 2-bus saturator, in my case the Neves, at such a high level with each and every stem to saturate kind of the same. Even if you do that, it's not gonna work, because the saturation is not just a matter of level, it's a matter of harmonic content. And if you just have the drum or just have the vocals, some frequency ranges will not get triggered enough. They will not get saturated enough. Or if you hit at the same level, some others will be saturated too much to have the same results. So in short, that's not really possible, and it's not what you should be shooting for when you print stems. But again, it all depends on what you're doing with the stems, and I'm pretty sure you guys will have more questions about this. If you do, leave it in the comment down below. We keep this video short. Post all your questions for the live Q&A and the rapid fire Q&A in the comment down below. Before leaving, check the info box for my mixing courses, a bunch of discounts on plugin. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts, we have a Patreon page. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.